The Adventures of Captain Underpants by Dave Pilkey. Chapter 14, The Big Bang. After their quick escape, George, Harold, and Captain Underpants stopped on a deserted street corner to catch their breath. "Okay," said George, "let's dehypnotize him quick before something else happens." A huge explosion came from the rare crystal shop across the street. Heavy smoke poured out of the building. Suddenly, two robots with one stolen crystal emerged from the smoke and jumped into an old van. "Did I just see two robots get into a van?" asked Harold. "You know," said George, "up until now, this story was almost believable." "Well, believable or not," said Harold, "we're not getting involved. I repeat, we are not getting involved." Just then, Captain Underpants leaped from the street corner and dashed in front of the van. "Stop, in the name of underwear!" he cried. "Uh-oh," said George. "I think we're involved." The two robots started up the van and swerved around Captain Underpants. Unfortunately, the van brushed against his red cape and it caught. With a mighty jerk, Captain Underpants flipped backwards and the van pulled him along as it drove. "Grab him!" cried George. The two boys skateboarded with all their might toward the speeding van and grabbed Captain Underpants by the ankles. "Help!" they cried as the van pulled them through the city streets. "Mommy," said a little boy sitting on a bench, "I just saw two robots driving a van with a guy in his underwear hanging off the back by a red cape pulling two boys on skateboards behind him with his feet." "How do you expect me to believe such a ridiculous story?" asked his mother. Finally, the van came to a screeching halt in front of an old abandoned warehouse. The sudden stop made Captain Underpants flip over the roof of the van and crash through the front door of the building. "Well, well, well," said a strange voice from inside the warehouse. "It looks like we have a visitor." Chapter 15, Dr. Diaper. George and Harold hid behind the van until the coast was clear. Then they sneaked up to the hole in the door and peered inside. Captain Underpants was all tied up. The two robots were standing guard, and a strange little man wearing a diaper was laughing maniacally. "I am the evil Dr. Diaper," the stranger little man told Captain Underpants, "and you will be the first to witness my takeover of the world." Dr. Diaper placed the stolen crystal into a large machine called the Lasermatic 2000. The machine started to light up and make loud noises. Heavy gears began shifting and spinning, and a laser beam from the crystal shot up and through a hole in the roof. "In exactly 20 minutes, this laser will blow up the moon and send huge chunks of it crashing down upon every major city in the world," laughed Dr. Diaper. "Then I will rise from the rubble and take over the planet." "Only one thing can help us now," said George. "What?" asked Harold. "Rubber doggy doo-doo," said George. Harold took the fake doggy doo-doo and a slingshot from George's backpack and handed it to him. "Be careful," said Harold. "The fate of the entire planet is now in your hands." With careful and precise aim, George shot the rubber doo-doo through the air and across the room. It landed with a plop right at the feet of Dr. Diaper. "Yes," whispered George and Harold. Dr. Diaper looked down at the bright doo-doo between his feet and turned bright red. "Oh, dear me," he cried. "I'm dreadfully embarrassed. Please excuse me." He began to waddle toward the restroom. "This has never happened to me before, I assure you," he said. I guess with all the excitement, I just, oh dear, oh dear." While Dr. Diaper was changing himself, George and Harold sneaked into the old warehouse. Immediately, the robots detected the boys and began marching toward them. "Destroy the intruders," said the robots. "Destroy the intruders." George and Harold screamed and ran to the back of the warehouse. Luckily, George found two old boards and gave one of them to Harold. "We're not going to have to resort to an extremely graphic violence, are we?" asked Harold. "I sure hope not," said George. Chapter 16, the Extremely Graphic Violence Chapter. Warning, the following chapter contains graphic scenes showing the two boys beating the tar out of a couple of robots. If you have high blood pressure or if you faint at the sight of motor oil, we strongly urge you to take better care of yourself and stop being such a baby. Introducing Flipperama. Here's how it works. Step 1. Place your left hand inside the dotted lines marked left hand here. Hold the book open flat. Step 2. Grasp the right hand page with your left thumb and index finger inside the dotted lines marked right thumb here. Step 3. Now quickly flip the right hand page back and forth until the picture appears to be animated. Fliporama 1. Robot Rampage. Fliporama 2. George saves Harold. Fliporama 3. Harold returns the favor. Fliporama 4. Mixed nuts and bolts. Chapter 17. The Escape. After defeating the robots, George and Harold untied Captain Underpants. "Come on," cried Harold, "let's get out of here." "Wait," said Captain Underpants, "we have to save the world first." So George, Harold, and Captain Underpants frantically looked all over for Lasermatic 2000, searching for a way to shut it down and stop the inevitable disaster. Said Harold, "I think this might be the lever we want." He pulled the self-destruct lever with all his might. Suddenly, the Lasermatic 2000 began to sputter and shake. The huge laser beam turned off, and the pieces of the machine began flying off in all directions. "It's gonna blow!" cried Harold. "Run for your lives!" "Not so fast!" screamed Dr. Diaper, who had appeared out of nowhere. "You demolished my robots, you destroyed my Lasermatic 2000, and you ruined my one chance to take over the world. But you won't live to tell the tale." Dr. Diaper pulled out his Diapermatic trigger ray and pointed it at George, Harold, and Captain Underpants. Captain Underpants quickly stretched a pair of underwear and shot it at Dr. Diaper. The underwear landed on the evil doctor's face. "Help!" cried Dr. Diaper. "I can't see! I can't see!" George and Harold ran out of the warehouse as fast as they could. "Great shot, Captain Underpants," said Harold. "That's just one more thing I don't understand," said George. "Where'd you get the extra pair of underpants?" "What extra pair?" said Captain Underpants. "Never mind that," cried George. "Let's get out of here before that Lasermatic 2000 thing explodes." The Lasermatic 2000 blew up, tearing apart the old warehouse. It sent flaming shards of red-hot metal in every direction. Fire fell from the skies around our heroes, and the earth began to crumble beneath their feet. "Oh no!" cried Harold. "We're doomed!" Come back next time to see how George and Harold, Captain Underpants, and Dr. Diaper survived their doom.